finally happened. That deal between Microsoft and Bethesda, or well, Zenimax Studios actually, and its subsidiaries already finally went through. And with that came the question, what everyone has been talking about for the past few months: exclusivity. Will Xbox games, will Zenimax Media and its subsidiaries games will be exclusive to the Microsoft ecosystem, games, stuff like that? Yes, they will.
Is it confirmed?
Well, pretty much in here, what we are going to do in this video, in today's video, is that we are going to do a little bit of a briefing of the live event that happened yesterday. Actually, in this live event, there was supposed to be a little bit of a talk about how these things will transcend, how will be the transition. Prior to this, they had not been working yet at full extent in this partnership, in this acquisition of Zenimax, because they still, it had to be like third parties, like legal stuff that we gamers don't actually care about that much, that need to be done before the acquisition fully went through, and then they could start planning their stuff for their future games in the future. And now let's talk about first exclusivity. Is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? Will like closed games be exclusive to Microsoft systems, to this well, pretty much what Phil Spencer said during the interview is that these games, these future games from these studios will be exclusive to the to places where Game Pass exists. That this deal, he said that this deal was done trying to look for exclusivity for the users where Game Pass exists, which pretty much we can narrow that down to the Microsoft ecosystem. Now, is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? I believe that it has good things, it has bad things. Now, first and foremost, there are already so many established communities during different, well, not during, but in several different platforms, alright? We have games that are already in Sony platforms, in Nintendo platforms, and there are already like communities inherently there, right? Now these games won't be affected in any kind, in extent. Phil Spencer said that there are contracts around here and there, legal stuff that they don't want to meddle around here. Those games will still exist in there, let's say for of course the Elder Scrolls Online, which will still be being maintained with updates and future expansions, for the different platforms where this thing exists. But for the future games, those will be exclusive to the Microsoft ecosystem, and this is one of the best, greatest things out of all of this badness, because I just believe that everyone should be able to play whatever the hell they want to play, whenever the hell they want to play. But they want Game Pass exclusives. I mean, right now, dude, I believe that I am robbing goddamn Game Pass because it's such a goddamn amazing service. With these acquisitions and then these partnerships that Microsoft is doing in the service, it's goddamn amazing, dude.
I'm 7 years old again.
We already have a bunch of EA games on Game Pass. That adds just a huge raw value to the service, dude. Now we have all of the Zenimax Studios games. As of right now, you can already download 20 of the games for the Zenimax and its subsidiaries in the Game Pass if you want to check that out. There are still games missing around here and there. I'm guessing that those will come like in waves, I guess. But at the end of the day, they will stay inherently there. They will no longer be able to be removed from there. You're always going to be able to play those games. And most goddamn amazing, already mentioned, but they want exclusive Zenimax games on Game Pass. Dude, that's just a huge, huge raw value in there. Now let's talk a little bit about Bethesda, because Todd Howard was actually present during the live event, and he mentioned key aspects and things that I believe they are so goddamn important to mention. First and foremost, when you develop games, it's inherently true that it's easier to develop a game for a specific platform. There's a whole bunch of different coding and performance touches around here and there that you need to make when you want to deliver a specific game in so many platforms, and we have so many goddamn platforms. We already know what happened to Cyberpunk 2077. It's not the case for everyone. There are like bigger studios that have mastery and experience enough to deliver as many games as they can in as many platforms as they can, but it's inherently harder. It's way much more easier to focus yourself in being able to develop a game for a specific platform, and that is why exclusive games look way better than multi-platform games, because they are designed specifically for that specific system, and they have already worked with this kind of exclusivity partnership when Bethesda was working, mainly before they used to be a studio focused on PC gaming, and when they made this jump to consoles, they came to Xbox. That was mentioned in the interview, or well, not interview, but this live event. They came to Xbox and said, dude, we want Morrowind, goddamn amazing, beautiful, sexy ass of a game, Morrowind. It's such a sexy ass of a game, dude. I have some of my fondest memories in that game. But they came to Xbox, to Microsoft, and said, we want our game to be in your console. Can we? Can we make that work, dude? And they were like, yeah, dude, let's make this thing work. And it worked. Everything was so merry and happy and beautiful. And I believe that this kind of partnership, this synergy of healthy environment of development is still going to be there. And most importantly, what Todd Howard, based on all of this, like following this pipeline, this road discussed in here, Todd Howard said something like, being able to be on Game Pass allows the creators to express themselves. Personally, I like to see video gaming development at some extent as some form of art. Well, there are many companies. I have talked a little bit more about that in my Amazon Lord of the Rings game, where Amazon takes this approach on the market based on numbers.
3 or 4 times, maybe.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Focusing on monitoring on communities and numbers and see what's on trend, what's making monies, what's making cashes, what's making profits, and they'll say, hey, to the developers, dude, I want to develop that. I want those greenies as well. Give me the greenies that Overwatch has. Give me the greenies that Fortnite or League of Legends has. I want those. I want a piece of that cake. And the developers are like, dude, I want to develop something that I think that it works for the genre that we are working in. Now with this new deal, Todd Howard said like the possibilities that the developers have. One, we talk about Game Pass. He says that Game Pass is a place, a means to be able to be recognized in different places, to reach as many public as possible, and to take risks as a developer. What is he talking about risks as a developer? I strongly believe that he is referring to these things that they don't actually need to follow a train, they don't actually need to follow the up-top commands, and be a little bit more like experimenting with some mechanics around here and there, some things that they want to implement in their games. And this creativity, this level of expression, I believe that's when video games, good video games, are being delivered. Good, amazing games are being delivered to the market. Dude, I just can't stress enough how good of a service Game Pass is, and like Todd Howard saying to us gamers that there's going to be a little bit more of experimenting, a little bit of a creativity that the developers can now, thanks to this acquisition, thanks to this partnership, that they can let their imagination fly and develop the games focusing on their visions and their pulsions and their artistic selves. I believe that's how I perceive it. I think that's when we get amazing games. So I think that the future looks bright for Zenimax game studios in here. I believe that there is a whole lot of promise, and while we have quite some way off before we actually get to play these games, I believe that they are headed in the right direction. That being said, do let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about all of this? Are you excited about this acquisition? Do you think that is something good? Do you think that is something bad? And why do you think it's something bad? I personally, I like to stay positive about this one. That being said, I'll see you goddamn beautiful gamers in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll see you later.